I'm going to talk about one toxin to put it in perspective for you. Okay? Trans fats make you fat. They're almost as mean in Boston as they are in Texas. Because Harvard Medical School did this thing to women for 90 days where they took away their healthy fats and they made them eat trans fat instead. And it was the same calories. Remember, calories aren't really the whole story here. So same calories, the women all gained how much? 12 pounds, 90 days. And all they did was substitute their fat. Now that isn't bad enough that they gained the fat. So you women in the audience have a perspective on this. The study just came in from Europe of 25,000 women. The #1 predictor of breast cancer was the level of trans fat in your body fat. The #1, more than genetics. Now why does this cause inflammation? I'm going to explain that now. So you drink your gallon of pesticide over the year, or have your trans fats in your foods, and the first thing it does is it comes in and hits the liver. Now are we designed for this? No. Our creator, when he created us, was he say, hey, those humans are going to be really stupid, screw around with food supplying poison themselves, so I'll make a super liver. Did that happen? No, it's a regular liver. It's designed that the foods are supposed to be normal, we're living in a non-toxic environment. So when the toxins hit the liver, what does the liver say? Are you nuts? I've got nothing to do with these toxins. So what does the liver do? Sends them into the bloodstream. Now, have we ever seen these toxins in our history? No. So what does your immune system think? They think they're bacteria. So it attacks it. So it lights up your entire immune system and you get massive body inflammation. So these toxins circulate around every time they hit the liver. What does the liver say? Are you nuts? So what happens is the fat says, I'll take it. Now is fat friendly or is fat mean? All fat's mean, so it takes, first thing it does when it pulls it in, what does it do? It makes more, and enrolled, it makes more fat. The first thing it takes the toxin and makes more fat. Then what does it release next? Obesogens. Oh yeah, the old obesogens. So the obesogens get released, and then what hormone gets released? Is something at the head of my story. Cortisol skyrockets, and what goes down? And what makes you young and youthful? This is not a good situation. This is just if we had one pesticide come in your body, you walk around with at least 167. And don't think Seattle's different. Well, we don't have that problem here. Yes, you do. So now I got to give you an explanation and kind of dodge the FDA rules and what I can say and not say. So let's just talk about fasting. It's nothing to do with Isagenix. This is a physiological event in humans. That if I make you fast, what happens to the growth hormone levels in women? They go up how much? I'll give it, it's really not hard. I actually help you out there. Try again. And how much does it go up in women? 30%. And how much does it go up in men? Is that a lot or a little? A lot. Isn't that great? So it turns out if we fast for one day, and it turns out it even increases on a second day, but on a third day, guess what happens? It reverses. Jason, have you been jumping ahead on me here? So Jason was saying it reverses, and it does reverse. What happens on the third day is actually cortisol rises and growth hormone goes down. Does anyone know why? Okay, here's the simple story is, the reason when we fast, growth hormone spikes is we're supposed to go out hunting, and we're supposed to come back with something to eat. But after 2 days, if it doesn't happen, the creator goes, Jason, you're the worst hunter on the planet. And it was in starvation mode. And starvation mode is when cortisol goes up. Because it actually slows down your metabolism and starts to burn muscle and bone. So anyone who's doing a fasting or a cleansing program for more than 2 days is actually eating their lean body mass. Now, one of the problems, though, if you do fasting these days, right, because we've managed to poison the environment and our food and tamper with everything, what happens to all those toxins, the 167 toxins in your fat? Amanda says they're released. Where do they go? Go in the bloodstream, and they go down to the liver. What does the liver say? Are you nuts? So the liver sends them where? Back in the bloodstream, and they go back into the... So all you've had is a really inflammatory event, right? What you really want to do is take those toxins and flush them out of the body. That would be the ideal situation, right? Now we're going to switch and be compliant. We're talking about nutritional cleansing. So the reason Isagenix does cleansing, not fasting, is you need to support the liver. I know there's all sorts of other claims about the Cleanse for Life. I'm going to give you the ones that I can prove and I can stand on, and we have support in terms of dealing with our regulatory body, the FDA. Our nutritional cleanse, the 24 nutrients, support healthy liver detox. That's what it's designed for. And it also has helped to flush them out of the colon, because you want to get them out of the body. So the harmful chemicals that come out of our fat, the idea is the cleanse is there to support the liver, because the liver needs support, because we were never designed to see how many toxins? 167. So it helps flush it out of the body. It makes sense. All right, and we have all these amazing ingredients in this. I mean, I love this. We've got alfalfa, we've got aloe vera, ashwagandha, paco de arco, rhodiola. All these are wonderful herbs. Again, all to support the liver. That's what it's all about. Now, when you come out of your cleanse, and it was really neat. Where was I? I was in Atlanta. You know the IHOP has an all-you-can-eat pancake breakfast? So yeah. So when you come out of your cleanse, we all go to IHOP, right? No? What do? You don't have a shake. Oh, you're probably smarter than the people at IHOP then. So you have a low-calorie, nutritionally dense shake, yes? Yes. I'm not relating these events, but I'm just going to give you a fact. It turns out, though, if you eat nutritionally dense, low-calorie superfood, Dr. Redmond has shown in a study that it will increase growth hormone production. So I guess having a low-calorie, nutritionally dense shake the day after having this cleanse would be a very smart thing to do. That's as much as I can say that with being compliant. I think you get the idea. When I talk about Isagenix for the best 2-day cleanse, how many use Isagenix for cleansing? Well, you don't seem that excited because I got some bad news. We have run into regulatory problems. No, I'm not kidding. I just was with Jim in Atlanta, and Jim has informed me as of March they're going to stop selling them.
What? You liar.
Come on.
It's not okay.
It turns out that's not true. But I did it to make a point, because I'm going to ask you a question. When you sign up new people, how many of you, every time you sign up, make sure someone gets Ice of Delight in the order? Every time. And you know what? I have the company data. Don't lie to me. So here's the point is, if you get that mad because I take it away from you, why aren't you setting up the new people for success? Would you like to cleanse without Ice of Delight? No. Sure you didn't like it a second ago, did you? Friends don't let friends cleanse without Ice of Delight. So make sure they get it. And for the business builders in the room, let me put it in perspective. 50% higher retention rate. And that's after 30 days. You think you might want to keep it in the pack? Yeah. Yes. All right, so make sure they get it, right? So, what are you going to do next time someone orders? You're going to make sure they get the Christmas pack, at least for the first month. And I'll give you another stat. 18 months longer in the company if they get 1 box the first month. Now, I think they should be on for life. That's why I go and give this lecture. But at least we have them on the boat and they're enjoying the benefits. All right. Stress less, way less. There was a great study done out of UCSF where they took women and they reduced their stress. The more they reduced the stress, the more deep belly fat they lost. Deep belly fat is a code word for visceral fat, which means cortisol. We used to think stress caused your cortisol to go up. It turns out there's good science showing that stress causes your inflammation to rise. Stress inflames us. It turns out if we get upset emotionally, physically, and mentally, it turns out our body is highly inflamed and we get inflammation up. What goes up? Cortisol. We'll try it again. It wasn't hard. We did this earlier. Okay? So inflammation goes up. What goes up? Cortisol. What goes down? Cortisol. So it turns out stress is highly important. Do we have something for that?
Yes. Tiffany shoes.
Calm down over there. So we have Ionic Supreme, which is a adaptogenic herbal blend that came out of Ayurvedic and Chinese medicine for the past 2,000 years. It was really pioneered by the Russians in the 70s and 80s to have performance in their athletes, the cosmonauts, and of course carbon factory workers. But it turns out our over 200 ingredients in this are absolutely terrific for stress. So you can see how the program is managing all those things that are causing inflammation and problems. And look at this blend. I mean, this is extraordinary. John Anderson, no relation, unfortunately. This is an absolutely brilliant product. All right, let's talk about sleep. So my sister is a twin, so this is kind of funny. So they took twins, and they did a wonderful sleep study for the one twin that got 9 hours, and the one twin got less than 7. And the one that got less than 7 gained 5 pounds of fat in 30 days. So it turns out that you need to sleep to lose weight. One of the reasons is, if you don't get good deep sleep at night, between 12 and 2 a.m. is when you release your growth hormone. So if you're not sleeping, and if you're taking sleeping pills, despite what the company says, I'll guarantee you, you're not getting to your deep levels of sleep. Taking sleeping pills, just, you want to do something about getting off. Now, so it's so important to get that good night's sleep, we actually have 4 different products that you can use. The first one is Isagenix. Isagenix is designed to be an adaptogenic, which means it's supposed to help you relax when you need to relax and give you energy when you need energy. It's a very Eastern concept. I mean, to North Americans, it's like, huh? Right? One pill, one thing. But not in the East. And these herbs have been shown to do this very effectively. So you can try Onyx to help you sleep at night. Now, some people it's a little too energetic. You have to find out what's right for your body. We have isocalcium and isopro. Now, if you take whey protein before you go to bed, that's whey protein. It's isopro, not isoline. You don't want any carbs in this. You want pure whey protein. It boosts growth hormone. Lots of studies showing that to be the case. If you take about 18 grams of whey protein before you go to bed, and where's our personal trainer, Amanda, at the back? Amanda already knows this, don't you? Yes,
Abby?
Abby knows this at the back. She already knows this. So you take that and add a little isocalcium. I know isocalcium is too sweet, I get it, but it actually works very well together. If you want to take a whole scoop, take a half a scoop with your isopro. And finally, we have the sleep formula from our own Dr. Michael Colgan. Again, you got to find out what's right for you. I'm just giving you advice. What you got to do is find out what works for your body. All right, what's the best exercise to lose weight? You know, this crowd, I start off really smart. We'll try it again. I'll give you a hint.
Lifting weights.
I'll give you a hint. What's the best exercise to lose weight? Lift weights. So I have a funny story which I can tell my sister since she was here. So I go to the gym with my sister, and I talked about lifting weights and why it was so important, because lifting weights actually boosts growth hormone. There's a great study done between people between the age of 18 and 82, and it turns out that if you get them to lift weights, they get the same growth hormone response as if they took injections. Doesn't matter if you're 18 to 82. I had my father saying I should lift weights. I said, Dad, he's 82. It's like, lift weights, because we know it puts up your growth hormone. All right? So my sister goes to the gym, and I'm over there lifting weights, doing old-fashioned, and this only weightlifting this works for is heavy progressive resistance weight training. And my sister's on this dome with some weights, and she's flapping her wings. And I look over and I said, what are you doing? She said, I'm lifting weights. I said, that's not lifting weights, that's flapping your wings. You're looking for flight. She says, my trainer showed me this. She said, your trainer doesn't know what they're doing. Okay, that's great for balance, but it does nothing for your growth hormone. You need to let heavy progressive resistance training, and she's done that. She's actually read a book called The Body by Science. You can look that up. Douglas McGuff wrote it with John Little. You can read about that. And she's now doing super slow weight training. Again, she's in it for the long term. She's in it for the next 50 years. So as soon as she figured out the flapping the wing thing didn't work, she's lifting heavy weights. Now, NASA studied that in terms of exercise for us and said, you know what? Weight training is the best exercise in the world, because NASA doesn't care what Jason or Aaron or I think. They couldn't care less. They only care it works. The astronauts in space lose muscle and bone because there's no gravity. Without gravity, we start to fall apart. So NASA studied and said weight training was the best exercise in the world for the astronauts. But here's the problem. How do you lift weights in space? Chuck, there's no gravity. No, it doesn't work. So they said interval training works almost as well. Jumping rope, sprinting, they use treadmills in space, whatever. As long as you sprint, rest, you can do it in the pool or whatever, almost as effective as some science suggesting it may be as effective. NASA didn't care. They loved it.